Any other issues from the homework? Any other issues? All right, do not turn that in. Clip it back in your binder in some sort of order with 223, because 223 also has not been turned. Yeah? 222. Now I'm getting confused of what I've collected or not. Margot, are you withholding questions on me? So guys, 223 you still have in your binder. Please make sure that you still have it, because I have not collected it. Do not turn in homework until Fridays now, right? I will say I'm feeling a lot better this week with the time I'm spending at home, checking homework and stuff. Do you want to go over something, Margot? All right, then I'm moving on. I can't make you want help. All right, if you did not get 225 from the back or resource page from the back, please pick up both of those. There's Alex. All right, so get out your 224. Get out your 224. Oh, for the video, I should probably go back to start slide to make sure that we talked about this, so that it's captured in the video. And Alex, because you just showed up. On 62 from 223, you only needed to do A and B. Right? I wrote down the wrong thing. That's what confused me.
I'm not an idiot.
Anybody else need me to wait before we start? All right, we are looking at the question from yesterday that talks about making life easier. Well, it doesn't talk about, but it's the whole point of what I showed you there.
Easy.
Save you from swearing there. So at the top of your 224, this is going to relate down to question 80. So guys, check it. This and what we do right here is directly going to relate to you being able to solve 80. Whoops. Oh, there's my work. Oh, no. It's also available on Schoology. So again, to review what we did here. We took the 105, and yes, I know it's negative, but I don't really want to talk about it being negative, right? So the first thing we thought about used what resource in the room? What did I point you towards yesterday? That set of posters that walks through multiplication and division with different signs. So the first thing we said was my answer is going to be, with a positive and a negative, answer is going to be? Negative. Thank you, the one person, Addie, that decided to interact with me. So then we split our big number, right? So we say 105 is really 105. Do the multiplication, split up, put the pieces back together. There we go. So I want you to try this with A and B where they already split the pieces for you. And then in C and D, we got to split the big number up. Okay, so in A and B, they already split up. Now here's my pro tip. Pro tip, draw arrows to remember to do each multiplication. So you should start by drawing arrows, and start by chatting with your teammates about what is this times that.
Is this just one of those doodle things that I find on my floor that we're doing instead of respecting what we're doing in class? I'm going to move distractions away from us.
Can you, like, type on the table?
Probably can. Doesn't mean it will help, but I can do it. Alex, I knew you were in here a little late. Do you have what you need now?
Yeah, so this, I think
So we're on 224.
Oh, no.
I'm sure we're working together. You guys got a big distance between you guys.
That's just
All right, my best advice to you. Show even the math you know how to do. So, yes, could a lot of us do 6 times 12? Yeah, I bet a lot of you could. And could we do 6 times 4? I bet we could, but I wrote it wrong on purpose, and this is not worth candy, but I have your hand shot up first. Do you know what I messed up? So I don't know if you were listening to what I was actually saying. Gabe, what did I mess up?
It's actually negative.
It's -4. So what's dangerous here is one of these is positive, one of them is negative. So guys, if I was you, I would write this down. Remember, our last test was open notes. So for all you know, the next one probably is too. What's 6 times 12?
72.
72. 6 times -4? -24. And when we good guy, bad guy battle off, who wins?
Good guy.
The good guy. By how much? We can do a quick subtraction if we need to. I can borrow 12, 8, 6, 4. So 48, I think. So +4. Sorry, my 4 looks a little funky there. +48. Marta. You could, but we're practicing the distributive property. So yeah, Margot's bringing up if we follow the order of operations. That's why this poster is here today. It actually tells us do the parentheses first, but would we get the same answer doing it this way?
Yes.
Well, this becomes 12 plus -4 is 8. What is 6 times 8? 48. So sometimes it's easier to do the multiplication broken up. Sometimes it's better to follow the order and do it that way. So like here, actually that was the perfect segue, Margot. If I do what's in the parentheses first, I get 290. Do you know what 7 times 29 is, or 7 times 290? Like, I don't. Now, we could have split this up as 290, like split it, 290. Or we do what they have up here. So, guys, let's just follow what's on our paper. Yeah, go ahead.
Will it always be the same or just
I don't want to straight give you that answer, because the real answer is the operations involved matter. But with what we're doing, yes, it will always be the same. Okay, but the bigger answer is not necessarily.
Yeah,
But with what's in this lesson, yes, it will always be the same. So the reason we're doing this, Margot, I love that you're trying to follow the order that we
I just
prescribed.
wanted to know because I wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally do that sometime.
No, you're good. You're good, because that is the right way. But the reason we're doing this is to make things easier. Because 7 times 290 feels a little scary. And actually 7 times 90 even feels a little scary. Because what's 7 times 3?
21.
21, and then put your zeros on. Well, this is going to become a negative, so remember, think about that first. 7 times 10? 70. Try C and D on your own. You're going to write it broken up, and then we're going to do it. We're going to write that bigger number broken apart to make our life easier. You got D down? So wait, can I see work? So first things first, draw the arrows, right? So draw those arrows connecting. Then if I was you, I would write out what's being multiplied, especially if you're like, I thought I got it wrong. So what multiplication we're doing is 7 times 300 and 7 times negative. So I'm going to write that, or we could bring it out here because there's space out here. Now wait a minute. Did I say get a calculator and do this? Or did I say break up the number and make it easier? So I'm going to take this away. You don't need that. And you need to follow the process we're taking up here, Alex. Don't do it the way... Guys, I get it. You look at some of these problems I put in front of you and you're like, I remember how to do this from elementary school. I get it. But that's not the point. The point is math is getting harder for you, and I'm trying to give you new strategies to make it manageable. So guys, could you grab a calculator and type in 4 times 302? Yes, but will you always have a calculator? No. Like on half of the test at the end of the year, you got to do it no calculator. And guys, there's just certain math out in the world that if you can do without a calculator, you just seem like you seem better. You seem a bit more with it. You seem a bit more like a quicker problem solver. So I'm trying to show you how to make things easier. So I need to make sure I write big enough because I had a couple people talking about vision issues. So how do I split up 302 to make it more manageable? June?
You could do 4 times 300, but you could just do 4 times 3 and then add 2 zeros.
Ooh, so I'm going to break up my 300 and my 2. You're right. I'm going to follow what you said, but I'm just going kind of slower. I can draw the arrows on the bottom, too. Guys, and some people really like the arrows on the bottom because that's the way we're traveling. We're going down, right? Sugar, we're going down, swinging. Got the number 1 with the bullet. I'm surprised people got that. A couple people knew what song that is. I went and saw them, actually. I saw them with Green Day. Yeah, down at Her Stadium. Questions on how we got here. 4 times 302, 4 times 300, and 4 times 2. And what June said, we can do 4 times 3, except she said a bad word in front of it. Because you said just. It's kind of like, it's not really a bad word. 4 times 2, 8. They get along. They do not fight, so we get 1,208, or 1,208. Questions? Yeah? No. You want to do the next? All right, walk me through it. How do I break it up?
First, start with the 8. It's 40. But you add the 2 zeros.
I have no idea what you're talking about because all I see right now is 871.
5 times 8.
I don't have an 8. I have an 871 right now.
5 times 800.
Where'd the 800 come from?
800. I know.
What? Where? I have 871.
Break it up.
Oh! Break this! Okay, thank you, Ivan. 800. Okay, and?
70.
And 70.
And 1.
And 1. Hey guys, if you already have this done, and you're just waiting, you could be doing a homework problem. And I know I'm making this take longer because Ivan didn't say exactly everything he needed to say. Now we're on the right track of Ivan. You want me to do what now?
So times 5 and 800.
So what is 5 times 8?
40 and add the 2 zeros.
So we do 40 and add the 2 zeros plus 5 times 70 plus 5 times 1. So how do I do 5 times 70?
Is 350.
Yeah, 5 times 7, put the 0 on. And 5 times 1?
Is 5.
All right. And then we put it back together. 4,355. There we go. Sweet. Questions on distributive property. Because that is what we just did. Guys, when we take a mastery on this, if you don't draw the arrows, I'm telling you from experience, you're asking to forget a part. Like, it's easy to get excited and then move on. I know you're like, I don't get excited about math. But like, we move on too quickly and we forget like the very final 5 times 1. Or like, we forget to show your work. Trust me. I've had 10 years worth of kids who I say, I told you so, when they don't show their work and they make mistakes. And yeah, I'm that teacher that says I told you so. Show your work or fall in the trap door. All right, pull out 225, please.
Can we put this away?
Yeah, 224 can go away. Hey, by the way, we've started math lunch now, which some people are getting a specific invitation to, but it's open to anyone. If you would like to come do work at lunch, so say like today's homework is 225 and you just want to get it done, and you're like, I never really do anything at lunch anyways, I might as well come down here and do math work. Come to my room, do math work. It is an open invitation. You can even skip the line. So if you're coming to math lunch and you are a person who buys lunch, you can skip the line and say Hudson told you to, and then come on down here. But if you skip the line saying that you're coming to math lunch and that's a lie, you will be at the end of the line for a week. Okay? And really what that means is I'll probably make sure you're down here until everybody else goes to lunch, and then you can go to lunch. Questions? Math lunch. Come do work. It's awesome. I have a couple 8th graders that swore by it last year. They were like, I come to math lunch every day. It's how I get my homework done. And especially once the weather gets crappy, cafeteria is kind of crowded, kind of loud. I mean, it's not crowded, but it's loud. All right, so we are back with Cecil. Anyone want to read?
Why?
What do you mean, why? Cecil's awesome. He's an entertainer.
Yeah, Cecil just solved his own problem.
Well, Cecil's like up on a tightrope, and math is kind of hard when you're up in the air, so...
When did he get down on the tightrope?
So does anybody want to read?
Could I please have Amelia Hudson and Margot Dorman to the office? Amelia and Margot. Thank you.
Can you read all right from back there? You can see everything? All right. Real loud.
You have seen how Cecil repeated integer-sized moves can be represented with addition or multiplication. But what if you need to calculate part of a whole? For example, 200 people enter a competition and 1/4 of them are chosen for the final round. How do you calculate how many were chosen? Sometimes you may even need to calculate a part of a part. For example, if Cameron sprinted 2/3 of the 1/4 mile track, how could you calculate how far Cameron sprinted? Today, you will use different models to help you answer these kinds of questions.
So maybe talk with your group person next to you about this. Think about what you would do.
Go on a freaking tightrope and they can't figure out how to get to the person. Right? You should solve it on the ground. Solve it on the ground. On a tightrope, just walk across.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. You should both check with each other and say, like, hey, your classmate right here. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's all of us. If we're part of it, it's all of us.
All right. So Cecil's got a new routine. You have this routine on your paper. On this paper, because I wanted to try to make your life easier. So with your partner, check out part 1 of that routine. Follow what you know, or use the distributive property. So Margo, now the choice is yours. Follow what you know, or use distributive property. Now, I don't think you need distributive on part 1. Part 2, you could do distributive. You don't have to. Well, let's solve how long part 1 is, and then how long part 2 is. Okay, so dive in, you and your partner.
Okay, guys, we got 2 parts.
So there's 2 to 1, right? Because that's the least one of the last 2. So I think we reset this. This one has to be 2 to 1, 2 to 2. So then 2 to 3, 4. 3 should be right behind 2. Plus 3 should be
Why do you have negative 9?
Because you can't do that. This is why you don't write impact. Well, I love it. It's strawberry. It's strawberry flavor.
Yeah.
It's flavor. You can eat it.
Just like roll it onto your tongue. Like
Draw on your tongue. It's a new slime.
You're not gonna get lead poisoning or anything.
Yeah.
It's not really lead. Try this. It's delicious. Okay. Stop shaking the table. Take some more.
Which is enough. That shoves the whole table. You're gonna use your head like that.
Bro! What was this, you guys?
drinking water. There's a lot of things. Piece by piece. So we're going to solve these different pieces. Actually, go right beneath that stuff.
Now, you might have just figured out the whole thing and put it all together.
Where'd you get the many
How did you
So if we go, I'm sorry, I'm using random cards. If we go piece by piece, because yesterday we talked about multiplication being used to show this repetition of something. So we go piece by piece. Lindy, what does the first piece, what does this actually like tell us? Yeah, but what is that in terms of like Cecil and his act? What does that tell us? Like, yeah, he goes like 2 steps or 2 feet 3 different times. So 2 times 3 would give us 6. And then, Misk, what about the next thing? What does that tell us he did?
He did 3 times 3.
Yeah, he did 3 moves of 3, right? 3 feet, 3 steps, whatever. What is 3 times 3?
9.
And then, is there any math to do here? No, it's just a negative. So now, Margot, what would you do to kind of figure out what this totals up to? Because there's multiple ways you could take. Would you group up numbers first, or would you just start like adding things together? Sure. Yeah, if we do the positives first, this gives us 15 plus 4 more. What's 15 plus 4? 19, and then a negative 5.
14.
We should have gotten 14 for part 1 there. Yeah?
I think I did it wrong.
Where did you
but
get 10
I got
from?
the right answer.
What do you mean you think you did it wrong?
Look, bro.
Because what I did
6
was,
plus 9.
like, I didn't separate
I added
what
them.
you did. I
Added
added negative 5 and 4.
That's fine. You did this part first.
Yeah.
Different way to get to 4.
I didn't
So-
do the whole thing all together.
Maddie, if you did that, what you would have done then is like 15
That's what I did.
plus, well, this would give negative 1. And do you still get 14? Yeah. So you did it right. Just a
That's what I
different
did.
route.
Well, actually, I didn't do it that way, but like
All right, I doubt you're done with part 2 yet.
I am.
All right, flexing your skills. You can work on homework then if you want.
how is he alive? How is he still alive?
I don't know.
Bro, how is Cecil still alive? He sneezed and fell.
He's like
He works.
How's he alive?
He fell.
All right, so
Cecil
I would actually follow Margot's advice on this one and do parentheses first. So like, what is 1 plus negative 1? What is 5 plus negative 2? Right? I would. So guys, I would follow Margot on this one.
Alex Wells, can you report to the Phoenix office, please? Alex Wells to the Phoenix office.
If we follow the order of operations, that P or G, depending on how you learned it, is for our grouping symbols, right? Parentheses or brackets or whatever. Guys, order of ops is right here. I think I have another one that I'll hang back there. What is 1 plus negative 1? 0. Interesting. So that must just be a little back and forth, little salsa move that he's doing there or something. What is 5 plus negative 2? 3. Oh, yeah. So, guys, this is why we work math vertically. If you try to write all this out to the right of where the original problem was, it's easy to forget one of the numbers or forget part of the parentheses. But if we write it out vertically, we can drop everything straight down. What comes after parentheses in my order of operations? There's an E in that PEMDAS. Remember, Ryan? Exponents. Guys, this is where you got to use your resources. If you don't remember, poster right here. I think it's in this math notes, but I'm not sure. It might be in the next math notes. But, so, multiplication. Here's a multiplication I can do. Sorry, exponents was next, but there are none. Right? There are no exponents, so we move on to multiplication. And here and there. So I just carry down everything else. What's 4 times 0?
0.
Oh. Negative 3. Now I know you could add some of this right now, but I wait. What's 3 times 3?
9.
9 plus 1.
That is.
It's 10.
See.
Oh, wait. What's going to happen when I have a positive 5 and a negative 5?
It
cancels
cancels out.
And a positive 3 and a negative 3?
Yeah,
It's
10.
So then my positive 9 and my... So wait, his Act 2 is shorter? His Act 2 was... It started looking a whole lot longer, but it actually, his tightrope, or how far he ends away from where he started, was shorter. Grab your resource page, the other paper, the thing with the rectangles. So if you're doing your homework right now, come back to me. Yeah?
Why is he doing math on a tightrope?
Well, his tightrope walk is the math. Like, we're doing the math to figure out where he actually ended. He's just walking on the tightrope.
Why did he fall?
Because
And
he
dies.
is a professional.
But does he die?
We're gonna move on now.
It said he's
You guys do realize that, like, the off-topic questions are fun, and I'll go down that rabbit hole with you, but then that's less time to potentially, like, get homework done. And I always have, like, I need to get this far before I just say, okay, do homework. So Garden Road Middle School is planning a field trip for students to attend a conference about careers in math. Obviously, you would all want to go to that. So, I would grab a highlighter and highlight this word. Half of the students signed up to go on the field trip. This is on your paper as well. Is it? No, I didn't put this. I didn't put the info. Sorry, so don't highlight this, but if you're looking at the rectangles, you could probably guess where we're going to start to go. So guys, everyone should have this paper out. All right, I should see this in front of everybody. Go ahead and put your name on it if you didn't. Good work, Eddie. Have the students sign up to go. Crap. But only 3/4 of those students brought back their permission slip. And what happens if you don't bring your permission slip?
can't
You're not going. Yeah, sorry about it. So if we have one of these boxes, like let's do your top left one on the paper. Can we shade to show half of the students? Let's start by going across. Did I leave them all back there? Crap, I left them all in the back of the room. Let's draw a line. Here, I'll just go ahead and show you. Let's draw a line across to show half of the students, right? So let's shade half of the school. Do you need a copy of the resource page, Rob, or did you put it away? Did you pick one of these up already or no? Okay, we're on the front, on the rectangles. We're on the rectangles. And we're going to shade to show half of the school. We're going to shade to show half of the school. Yep, so just halfway across. And you can use highlighter, pencil, whatever you want. Now realize if you use highlighter, it might bleed through. If you use highlighter, it might bleed through. And the back of this is another resource page. By the way, I don't think it was you guys, but I have found some notes in here. Mainly fine. Except one's talking about a ransom situation. And quite frankly, ransom doesn't have a D in it. I know the word handsome has a D in it. But just by the way, if we're writing notes in my class, like most of the time, or any class, like we see you. We just hope that like you will make the choice to get back on task on your own. But if you're going to write notes in my class, at least don't leave trash on my floor. Right? Like, all of this to say, let's leave our spaces nice. So when you leave my classroom, maybe like push chairs back in. Or maybe like put stuff back in the bin. So if we can just remember to kind of like try to leave my space how you found it, that would be great. Alright, so half the school. But now, 3/4 of that half. So if I'm going to draw 3/4 of the half, would I draw my lines horizontally? Or would I draw my lines vertically now?
Well, it would be easier to draw them vertically.
It's not only easier, it's actually the right way versus the wrong way. Because if I start trying to draw my lines across here, I'm going to re-slice the same direction as the portion I already sliced. So guys, if we're doing a fraction of a fraction, we got to switch directions. So let's switch directions. And the easiest way to do fourths is do half first. and then figure out your fourths from there. Yeah, this is just a resource page, guys. It's not homework. It's like this just like kind of lives in your binder. It's for you to have. And then, guys, maybe if you got a different color or at least turn your pencil a different direction, shade 3 of the 4 that we just sectioned out. So guys, for what it's worth, no, we're not taking like lots of extra resource pages. I don't print lots of extras. So for today, we'll say that's fine. For today, we'll say that's fine, but I'm gonna need to go make extra copies now. We can't get like, this is why there's 8 on here. If you mess one up, just start over. Do a different, like you don't need to crumple your paper. You don't need to waste your paper. Come on guys, let's be like respectful to the fact that I don't want to use more trees than we have to. Either off to the side, I'd probably do off to the side. What we just did is 1/2 times 3/4. And what I want you to definitely show, like either with a different color or shade really heavily, is what boxes got shaded twice. Like what boxes got shaded twice. And for me, it's these 3, right? They got shaded the first way across. And then they got shaded when I brought my columns down. So what is 1/2 of 3/4? Or we could actually flip this around and call it 3/4 of 1/2. We can turn the order of multiplication around. How many boxes did we end up shading? Band-Aid? I got you. Hey, Margot, do you not like me? You always try to get Miss Martin to help you out. She's like the backup teacher, which is great. I appreciate having her, but like, I got you.
Yeah, ask him for Band-Aids. I don't have any. I'm not. This isn't my classroom, so I don't know where the Band-Aids are.
And this turns into 3 out of 8, which is what we've already started practicing a little bit, that when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight through the top and the bottom. Different than addition. Right? When we multiply fractions, it is different than addition. We multiply straight through the top and straight through the bottom. There's no common denominator. You don't need it because we're multiplying things, not adding up pieces of pizza or whatever. We're multiplying. No common denominator.
See, this confused me because I was thinking. So the first time when I did those little test thingies, I was trying to like get into the accelerator because all my friends were in there.
Okay.
But I didn't get it. Like I didn't do enough right questions, and I remember one of the questions I think I didn't do right was where I was multiplying across with fractions, and now I'm being told that I did right the entire time.
Hard for me to weigh in on that since I wasn't there, but we could talk more at another time. So real quick, how this resource page can help you on your homework. Well, maybe on your homework, but at least we'll do this question together at the beginning of class. If Joe Dominguez has decided to plant a rectangular flower garden, oh look, convenient, rectangles, with half of the garden to be planted carnations. Guys, this is on your paper. Half to be planted carnations. We could do the same sort of thing that we just did and make half of it carnations. Right? And you could even just like carnation. But then it says 1/3 of the carnations must be red. Okay, then I can kind of section this out maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe right here. What would 1/3 of 1/2 end up being?
1/6.
Yeah, 1/6. So if these are the red, only this box got double shaded, and that would be 1/6. We will pick this back up tomorrow because I am way out of time. If you guys want to make your life easier, you can go through Miss Hassanin's room to exit out into the hallway. But do not mess up anything in her room, please.
Wasn't this
this like the exact same as the first question on the homework? First, like, actual question.
Yeah, except, yeah.
Mr. Hudson.
What?
Wow.
So what we do in class helps you on your homework? Man, who would have thought?
That's what I said, Mr. Hudson.
No, I mean. Like,
That's not an accident, Margo. It's on purpose.
That's what I said.
It's on
Margo.
purpose.
So maybe there's a reason why it's